But you look at the problem, how many moles of hydrochloric acid were used if 204 grams of hydrogen sulfate are produced? So what's my known in the problem?
204 grams of hydrogen sulfate.
Yeah, so I got known 204 grams. And what's my unknown?
How many moles of HCl reacted?
Yeah. And so if I highlight those on my mole map, let's make it a crazy color. Grams of H2S is a mass measurement. So I'm going from mass to moles. And how many steps is that?
Mr. How do you know what kind of problem it is?
What was that?
How do you know what kind of problem it is?
What do you mean? Like how many steps it has or where I need to start?
Pretty much where you need to start.
So that's the known. You can see it right here where it says known. As long as we know what the known is, we know where to start. And you look for the unknown, that's where you end it. And that's like writing this step out feels kind of dopey a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong. We're like, or you remember the other day when we all sounded stoned, like, what is known, man? But how many steps is this guy?
Would it be 3?
So put your finger on mass and move it to moles, and that's one step.
2?
Yeah. So I've got my starting little bit. So I stick my unknown at the beginning, and then I do equals my known times, and I'm going to go 1, 2 fraction bars, and I'll put a little multiplication thing in the middle. Boop. There. Now I do have to do the molar mass of substance A, which is H2S. So we'll have to click over. Nope, that's not how you click, Fleming. I have to click over, and like H, I've done H so many times, I just say 1. So I've got 1, and we'll make it fancy, 1.008 plus 1.008. And how much does sulfur weigh? Now look at that a little bit closer. 32.06. Can somebody do that for me?
$34.076.
Cool. So I have that many, and that is grams per, and I can put grams H2S, sorry, H2S per mole, per 1 mole H2S. Now this is where we do have to kind of figure out how to write this, because which one do I want to put on bottom of the first fraction bar? Do I want to put moles or grams? So this is the tricky one, right? Where do we look to find which thing we put on bottom?
To the thing before it.
Yeah, so we want to see what's in the thing before it. So I have here grams of H2S. So I'm going to put the grams on bottom. Even though I just wrote grams per mole, you can also write there is 1 mole of H2S for every 34.076 grams H2S. So I can cancel those bad boys out then. So I can like just be like, all right, now the grams is going to go away and the grams is going to go away. And I'm left with the moles. Now I'm going to go back to the problem because that's the only molar mass we need for this. And so we've gotten this step done. What's the middle step?
Use the coefficients.
Mm-hmm. And how many moles of H2S are in my balanced chemical equation?
1.
Cool. And how many moles of HCl?
2.
Yeah, I can highlight that a little bit for us. And then I want to know which one goes on to the bottom. Oh, somebody in the chat. 2 what goes on the bottom? So it can't be just a number. That's the trick, is we need to know what the thing is. But what goes on bottom? Which property? So you always look at that. That's the thing that has to go on bottom. Because that is how canceling works. So I have, it is in my balanced chemical equation, 1 mole of H2S for every 2 moles of HCl. And then I get to cancel out my moles here, because mole H2S cancels mole H2S. And I'm left with some crazy math. 204 divided by 34 times 2. You know what I'm going to do with that? I'm totally going to do it like this. 204 divided by 34.076 times 2. And I just skipped all the ones in that. And I got 11.973. Like, that's a lot. We'll put it all in. To the results. No, answer. There we are. Correct. And that answer is ridiculous. 11.97. That's all we really need. Is this feeling a little bit better now?
Yeah.
Good.